Okay, this feels weird. This feels very strange. Not only is the camera farther back, I also have this very large mic in my face. For the audio listeners, for the visual listeners, you see what I'm working with here. Normally for me recording a YouTube video or if I'm recording a TikTok or something like that, the camera's closer. I don't have this in my face. Feels more like a FaceTime. Um, so welcome to Unhinged with Rylann. This has been a long time coming. Okay, I'm very excited to be able to finally post my podcast with success. It is an a Spotify exclusive, so I'm only gonna have it up on Spotify. I feel like y'all mostly use Spotify anyway. Um, like whenever people are streaming my music, link down below. Um, it gets more attention on Spotify. And I feel like why, so I have my podcast on Spotify. It's Unhinged with Rylann. Um, Follow me, 5-star it, whatever you do over there. Okay. And then for everybody on YouTube who's seeing me visually, welcome. Welcome. I'm very excited that you're here. Um, so yeah, this is very different. This is going to be very different content for me. I am super excited. I'm very nervous. First of all, you guys can see my set. It's giving a little bare. Okay, it's giving a little bare. I have been redoing my room. I have been doing a lot of things. Okay, I've had a lot of school. I've been trying to do social media. There's a lot that has been going on. And I just have not had time to build a set. Okay, this is what you get. This is what you get. And you better like it. You all better love it because this is what we got for now. But I will be buying stuff for this set. You might be looking over here and be like, Rylann, why do you have these just all out here? These are products I use in my daily life. They're all linked to my TikTok shop. I have stuff for skincare. I have Bloom for your body. It's like great for like bloating and stuff like that. I bloat really bad. I have the Neuro Gum. The Neuro Gum helps with like your mental, like it keeps your mentals together. I won't honestly lie to you guys. I have been using the Neuro Gum for a very long time. Honestly, it's only been a month, but I just passed 2 tests that were proctored. Okay. I normally never do that. I normally fail everything. So if that gives y'all some hope, I would go ahead and just see what's up. Okay. But anyway, and then I have this little thing right here. It's like a stress ball type situation. I'm really obsessed with it. Anyway, these are all linked on my TikTok shop. I got them sent from TikTok. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. And then this is my water cup. Just ignore her. Okay. The thing about me is I hate doing dishes, and this one I just drink water out of because I only drink water. And all I have to do is wash this out and I have like a fountain drink, okay? So don't judge me. I've had it for like 6 months. Okay? We know what this is by now. We know what this is by now. Um yeah, if you can hear that, I apologize to my audio listeners. Worst time to do a podcast is the middle of the day. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Anyway, you guys, so this podcast is supposed to be like something different than my YouTube. Okay, my YouTube is more like vlogs and story times. And to a degree, I want this podcast to be that. I want this podcast to be about drama, trauma, and your ex's mama. Okay, because we all have that one ex that was a little too obsessed with his mom. It is what it is. So like I eventually want to have my friends on this podcast. I want them to like speak their truth and speak their light. I maybe I'll have some of my family on this podcast. Who knows? Okay. But I really want great things. Today I'm just gonna like dive into pop culture and just kind of tell you guys some things that have been going on in my life. Because if there's one thing I have not learned is that people are trifling. Okay, people are trifling. I don't know what it is, but they're trifling. I've never met people and my whole life. And we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Okay. I don't want to like keep talking and run you off. And I feel like I've been talking for a really long time. I'm really hoping this podcast succeeds. I'm hoping people listen to it. Anytime I do something new, I'm very nervous. Like whenever I did TikTok, I was very nervous. Okay, we're at 16,000 followers. Love that. When I started YouTube, I was nervous. Like a few months later, I'm at 200 subscribers and I have, some followers on there. This is just me learning that maybe you know what? I was going to be like, maybe this is me learning that I flop. However, I want to say, I did get trending. I was trending on Wattpad. Okay. That's my claim to fame. And I have gotten millions of views on TikTok. I make money from TikTok. I've gotten top 10 on lives in TikTok. So maybe it's not all a failure. Maybe it's not all a failure. Maybe I can make a few dollars. Okay. Like I said, if you go to my TikTok, link down below, you can go and purchase one of these products. Okay. And many more from my marketplace. Please go buy something. Okay. I make money off of it. Go follow me on there too. Anyway, you guys, I do have some notes right here and I am going to be like marking things off because I don't write things down that I need to talk about. Everything is just off the dome. However, I do like to make points of like what I'm going to be talking about. And first thing that I would love to talk about is Chris Olsen's ex. Okay. Chris Olsen's ex has been throwing shade at Chris Olsen lately, saying that Chris Olsen just used him for clout and just used him for where he wants to be. And basically, that I think his name's like Patrick or something like that. I don't know. Who am I? But his name's like Patrick or something crazy. And basically, he's been like saying that Chris used him for clout and this, that, and the other, which I kind of think is like reverse. Here's my take. Okay, I feel like Chris has went on to have a very star-studded career. I will say it. Okay, I feel like he has went on to do really amazing things. He's gone on to go to the Oscars, the Emmys, the Grammys, wherever and whenever he has been invited there. And then since his ex has had 1.9 million followers on TikTok and hasn't been back since. Okay? Like let's be real here. Let's be real here. Chris went on to be a mega influencer and this man went on to do nothing. Like it's so weird, and it's just like so weird to keep hashing up. Like every time I see this man in the news, it's because we're talking about Chris Olsen. Like, hello, how are you? I think like a crazy ex when you're famous is so like fierce though. Like you go, Chris. Your ex is out there driving you crazy, but you're out here slaying. You're out here doing whatever you have to do. And I approve of that message. I approve of that message. Okay. By the way, I don't have my contacts in and I cannot see what's going on. So I'm just hoping I look like a fierce Steva and that I'm not like turning you guys away. But like for real, y'all, if y'all are on YouTube or wherever we're watching this from, what do y'all think about Chris Olsen's ex? Like for me, it's like why? Like why go through that? Why go through that drama? I don't know, you guys. I'm filming this on Friday. I think I'm gonna like film on Fridays and post on Mondays. I think that's where I'm coming from. Okay. Y'all, I don't know. I can't deal with the jealous ex though. And it's just like him going back. One thing I cannot stand because plenty of my exes have like went back on old pictures and just stuff like that and have like said something whenever I've made my peace with it. And it really messes me up. And I hope that doesn't go for Chris. Like, I hope this man isn't like pulling up all their old stuff and like ruining that moment for Chris because even in like the worst relationships, I feel like there's an era where it's like really good And maybe not all, for all relationships, but I feel like for me personally, all of my relationships, there was at least an era of really good and like times that I choose to remember. I don't choose to remember the bad times. I never forget them, but I don't choose to remember them. Okay. I I want to remember the good times and I want to thank that person for the good times, forgive them for the bad and move on. Okay? Once again, don't forget. I will always remember it, but I'm going to forgive it and I'm going to move on. That person's not going to be in my life anymore. And I feel like Chris's ex has to take that route, which, as I'm speaking right now, you guys, as I'm speaking right now, a picture of Robert Irwin. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say it again. Robert Irwin. Okay, if you didn't know, he is the famous child of Steve Irwin, like icon, diva, love. Um, he had a oh, he had a campaign with an underwear company. Okay, this man had a campaign with an underwear company. I can't, like, when I say that, it's because like I'm literally sitting here like, what do I do? What do I do? Because that posted and I was like, oh my. Oh my. And then to learn, okay, he was looking fierce. Diva, like I'm gagged, okay? I'm not like easily gagged by a man, but this one gagged me, okay? I was truly I was truly in a different world when I saw this campaign. If you haven't seen it, I don't even think I can post it on here for the sake for my visual. I forget there's visual and audio. My bad. For the visual people and for the audio people listening, if you watch the video of my podcast right now that I'm doing, um I'm going to post I don't think I can post one even in here. However, if you guys search it, you guys can easily find it, okay? So just me talking about a Robert Irwin, like what, 20 minutes into my first podcast. I love it. I love it. Me not even being 20 minutes in, me probably being like 5, 10 at the most. It was just, he was amazing. And then he starts going around and he's being booked to like carry snakes like across shirtless and like doing like male Britney Spears vibes and just going around and just gagging everybody. Like he's been all over TikTok. Like he's on my computer right now. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is tea, sis. This is tea. Hello. And he did an interview and he's such like a sweet, like I'm talking, it's giving, what is it giving? It's that dog, golden retriever. It's giving golden retriever energy. And it's giving golden retriever energy. And he's like, well, this is what I do. He's like, people were like, would you feel comfortable doing this with snakes? And he's like, this is my job. Like, this is what I do for a living. And I'm like, so you're telling me, so this man has been on the outback. Okay. He has been just in Australia doing this and people have been gatekeeping him to the people in all Australia. Okay. I'm going to be real. The top two places that top three. I'll say the top three places that follow me on all of my social medias is the United States, Britain, and Canada. I don't have any kind of standing or following or anything in Australia, and that is probably why I didn't see it. But if y'all gatekeep this man from me, I'm going to fly to the outback and like cause a scene. And I apologize to all of the people in Australia who may or may not be watching. Um, yeah, I deeply apologize. Hang on, I just need some water real quick. All right, y'all. So I am here to talk peach slices. Okay, so if you guys have not heard of peach slices as a brand, Peach slices has been around for a little bit. They sell it at Walmart. It is cheaper on TikTok shop. So if y'all go find my account, and y'all see this link to my TikTok shop, it's much cheaper than in person. However, everyone always asks me how I get a beautiful glow on my skin. And this is how I use this serum 3 times a week, and it has truly changed my skin barrier for the better. And on top of that, it has just made my skin look so much better. I have glass like skin now, you guys. So if y'all go to my TikTok shop, it is linked down below in the description. You can get one too for a cheap price. Okay. Thank you guys. And now back to the podcast. Anyway, but that's how I feel about that, because what do you mean this man has just been hiding from us for so long? Like, it's just been hiding for us for so long. Like, that's so crazy. Okay. Like, and y'all know, I mean, I've seen videos of Robert Irwin, but I have not seen like those type of videos. Like, I did not know that man was packing a 6 pack or was giving that, but now I do. And you know what? For some reason, and for some reason, I will never understand. This just led me to everything that's been happening this past week with Lord. Okay, so first of all, if anybody remembers, Lord reappeared in 2021 after like a 7 year hiatus. I could be wrong on the dates, but I remember it was like a forever hiatus. Okay. She came out with Solar Power. I have honestly listened to Solar Power so many times. I love Solar Power. If you have not listened to Solar Power by Lord, go do that. Go do that right now, because what do you mean? Um, yeah, it was an awesome album. It came out in 2021. Love, 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 love. Okay. Anyway, that all kind of goes out, and Lord just kind of goes back into hiding. Okay. Not to be seen again. And it kind of flopped. It was kind of a flop of a comeback. Like, for some reason, people didn't gravitate towards it, or I guess people didn't really understand who Lord was. That was in the early days of TikTok. Now I feel like TikTok is more with it. You know what I mean? Like, they know who Lord is and all of those girlies. You know what I mean? And I feel like coming off of a Charlie XCX collab, like, she literally came out with Girls So Confusing last year, and she was on Brat, the album literally of the year. Okay. Cowboy Carter can kick it. Um, it's 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 crazy. It's crazy. And I know y'all are gonna be like, well, Brat did win electric, or electric dance, or whatever the flying flack it won. Okay. And I'm not gonna downgrade that. It won a lot of Grammys. It won a lot of Grammys. Okay. I'm not complaining. I just feel like there's a lot of other things that Cowboy Carter didn't touch. You know what I mean? But anyway. But yeah. And then it's just like, to come, like, Lord didn't have TikTok. I don't think many people knew that. Lord is very like off the internet. Like, we have been trying to follow Lord since Royals. It never really happens. You know what I mean? She just disappears, she comes back, she disappears, she comes back. Okay. We love her for it. So the other day comes around, and a new snippet is on my FYP, and it was a Lord song, and it was, you know, a one I hadn't heard before, and I was like, how have I not heard a Lord song? Like, 7 albums, I feel like I've listened to all the tracks. Why does this one feel so different? But so similar. Okay, like, it did seem like it would be on one of her past albums, I'll be real. So I sideswipe, and lo and behold, it's Miss Lord about to tease a new era. Anyway, Lord was spotted at the same place Pedro Pascal was spotted. Okay, there was a group of people. Okay, so Lord drops this. She's teasing it, whatever. Fans are lining up for Pedro Pascal to walk out. Lord accidentally walks out and runs. Looks terrified. Okay, love her for that. Love her for that. That starts the Lord sightings. Okay, and y'all know when Lord has sightings, it's like the funniest thing ever. Like, it makes me laugh. It makes me genuinely chuckle. Ah. Anyway, After that, she's just been citing everywhere. Like I know that she was at the park, like at this park, and like people were recording it, and she was like talking about her new single and this, that, and the other. And then like right after, she filmed the music video. It's all out now. I forget what it's called. I haven't listened to it yet because whenever like a song comes out, it takes me forever to listen to it. Lord or not, Travis Scott coming back after like 8 years, which I have tea on him later. Okay. um, but yeah, I'm very excited for a Lord Summer. Okay. Like I'm very excited about a Lord Summer. I think it's gonna be fun. You know, we had Charlie Summer last summer, but I'm really looking forward to Lord Summer, and I hope it like with her, with a single comes an album, and with an album comes a time of running away. However, it's only been 4 years, so I'm not griping. I'm very excited for this album. I'm very excited to see what she's going to be talking about. The problem is, though, like collectively across the board, if you listen to Lord, she usually drops an album during a peak or pivotal moment. Okay. Like any time in my life when she has dropped a song, like 2021, like I was going through it. Okay. This was, I can't remember if it was before, I think it was before my relationship happened. I had a very toxic relationship in 2021. We can get in that another day. Um, However, I just lost all train of thought. I'm so sorry. I don't even remember what we're talking about. Lord, yes. Yeah, it always drops. Yeah, I was like, before my relationship, I remember it dropped. It like led me into just this era, and it was absolutely amazing. And dope album. Okay. Absolutely ate it up. I loved it. Okay. The next thing I want to get into is Somber. So, if y'all don't know who Somber is, Somber, he is a musician. I am going to get into my story of how I learned who Somber was. Okay. So, I went to the Nessa Barrett concert. It was March 1st. It was at the what was it? The House of Blues in Houston, Texas. Okay. I went, and basically the openers for that tour were Somber and Ari Abdul. Okay, I was very excited for both of them. I knew who Somber was from his song, I think it was Caroline. I don't really listen to Somber. I don't like have any issues with them. I like his music. I just don't really I'm not really in a sad era at the moment, and so I haven't really listened to his music in a very long time. However, Ari Abdul is a very like she makes me feel like a baddie. Like even her sad songs just make me feel like a baddie. Anyway, she ended up opening for that one. And then it led me down like this somber rabbit hole, and it like as soon as I it led me down that rabbit hole, he started going like mega viral. Like for some reason, he like two of his songs started going like majorly viral. He's been all over my like FYP, and I'm just like obsessed. Like the amount of things that I have learned about this man are crazy. He chipped his tooth. He was told that he was like the white boy of the month. He ate it up. Okay. Like there are certain people who just deserve to be famous. And I feel like Somber may be just one of them. Okay. Somber, he just he may be one of them. Okay. And I can't stress this enough to you guys. Like for real. I don't even know why I wrote his name down and why I wanted to talk about him so much, because I really like there's no drama, there's no tea. I will say, however, like when people record him out in public, he is so sassy, and I do love like a sassy man. Um Oh, another thing I wanted to get into was, so if you are a Stranger Things fan, you have probably already seen, but Steve Harrington was at Coachella. Steve Harrington was at Coachella performing. Like not wristband out in the audience, he was performing. I didn't know Joe Curie. Isn't that his name? Hang on. Let's look at this. Let's look at this further. Ooh, I'm like messing with everything. I believe it's Joe Curie. Oh, he has a band. Okay. So Joe Curie has a Wikipedia, and let's see what he has to say. As a musician, Curie was a member of the psychedelic rock band Post Animal. Following his departure from the band, he embarked on a solo career and released studio albums 2020. Oh, so he's solo now. Solo? Question mark? Okay. This makes sense. This makes sense. So his stage name is DJO, Dojo, Djo. I'm not really sure. Okay, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm not really sure. Um, but yeah, under the moniker Dojo, released a second single in August 2019. Let's look at him at Coachella. This is something that I am feeling very passionate about. And I think that 2023, why was he in? Well, I mean, I guess he's been famous for like many, many years. Oh my gosh, yeah, that means like, well, I mean, he's been doing Stranger Things the longest. I guess he just tried to break into music. How did I not know this though? Like, how did y'all not tell me? Oh, look, it's even on his thing, known professionally in music as DJO. Yeah, he was performing. I don't think live I don't think live um performances can be copyright. I mean, I think they can, but I'm going, no, you know what? We're not gonna watch it. We're not gonna watch it because it's gonna get copyrighted and I'm gonna get aggravated and then something's gonna happen and I'm gonna have to edit it out and it's gonna be more work for me. It's better to just not deal with it and to move on. Okay, there's a few topics I am ready to get down on here. Hi everyone, it's Rylann from the future to talk to you about Bloom. So Bloom is a basically a something that you can mix with your drink. It is a green. It helps with bloating, digestion, and immunity, okay? It's really great for your gut health and your bodily health. I drink a scoop of Bloom every day to keep up my figure and on top of that to make sure that not only are my insides doing good, but my outsides are doing well as well. Bloom can be a little pricey on the Walmart shelf. However, I have it linked in my TikTok shop. It is linked, my TikTok's linked down here in my link tree. All you have to do is go to my TikTok shop and order you this, and you can get like me. Anyways, back to the video. By the way, if you have made it this far into the visual or even at the audio, please drop a comment and tell me you have, and just tell me how it's going so far, what I need to change, what I could do better about this podcast. I'm still finding my groove in this, I feel. I think this is a lot of me yapping, and that, I mean, that is what a podcast is. Um, However, I do want this podcast to be like a fun place where I can talk traumas, and your baby mama's drama. Like I have a vision and I am trying to execute it, and I wanted to see if y'all can see it from my POV. Now, today is a lot of pop culture just because I do love talking about pop culture. There's a lot in the water today. Which leads me to Sydney Sweeney. And honestly, I'm gonna be so real with y'all. I was like researching before I did this, like it was Sydney Sweeney. She's in a new movie. Okay, I forgot. Let me rephrase this. I forgot what movie Sydney Sweeney just got asked to be in. And honestly, I don't know the name of it. I don't think I ever got the name of it. However, it's for a game. It's for a game movie. I'm not sure. It sounded like I said gay movie. It's a game movie. A game. A game. But yeah, she's booked and busy. I love that. I love like her Zendaya. They remind me of Priyanka Chopra, or was that how you say her name? It's Jonas now. But that girl, I think she's slowed down. But if y'all remember, she was filming so many projects every year that like you couldn't keep up. Like every movie you watched or everything that you watched from like literally 2019 up has her in. Like every show, everything, like majority of things. If y'all go look at the movies that she's in, y'all will be so surprised. Anyway, Sydney Sweeney is kind of giving that. There's been a lot in the mix with Glenn Powell, her wedding not going as planned. And I didn't notice this, but her husband, like her fiance, is like old. Okay. If you're Sydney Sweeney and you're in your prime right now, Miss Ma'am, I wouldn't want to settle down either. And I respect her for that. Like, I was kind of hoping she wouldn't settle down because it seems like when people settle down in Hollywood, they're just not as, what's the word I'm looking for here? They're just not the same. Like, it's not giving the same vibe. And, like, obviously, it shouldn't be giving the same vibe. But, like, I need Miss Sydney Sweeney around for a lot longer. Okay, this version of her. There, which leads me into Euphoria season 3 leaks. Okay, Euphoria season 3, there has been a lot of leaks, people like taking pictures and posting it. And honestly, I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous about this season. I've never really been nervous about a season for or a show like this one because I'm hoping they don't completely butcher it and just ruin everything. I'm hoping we get to at least figure out what happened at the end of season 2 because they left us on such a huge cliffhanger and then what 3 or 4 years later they're finally filming something. But there's a lot of like theories and leaks and just things that are circling the internet right now. Like apparently Cassie and Nate are going to be married or something like that. Another one said Maddie and Nate were going to be married. So I'm not really sure. And honestly, I'm not really sure why people pull for Nate Jacobs anymore. Um, if we have not seen everything that Nate Jacobs has done this far, but you know, it's whatever. Comment down below what do you think about Euphoria season 3? Have you seen the leaks? Are you worried about it? I'm just hoping for the best. It scares me. It scares me a little bit because like they left us with such a great show on such a great cliffhanger. Like it did take a long time from season 1 to season 2 because of COVID and stuff like that, but we would have already had season 3 by now in that kind of time frame, you know? And now it's like they're wanting to do a jump. They're a lot of key characters aren't coming back. A lot of key characters have passed away. May they rest in peace. I'm hoping they just respect people's legacies and just honor people. And I think that's the best that we can hope for at this point in time. However, when I was learning about the Euphoria season 3 stuff, I saw something. So, do y'all remember that movie that Noah Beck starred in? He was like the football jock, and there was like that girl there. It was a whole other situation, okay? I don't know if y'all know, but Tubi is the movie that, or is the streaming service that made it, and they have just greenlit it for a second movie. Anyway, so yeah, Tubi just basically says you're getting a second movie and they're starting it. However, I watched the cringe compilation because if I'm being honest, like with Noah Beck, he's kind of giving like Addison before she became like what we know Addison to be today. And if you don't know who Addison is today, you need to go and check out Miss Addison Rae, okay? And I know she's trying to drop Addison like Ray. That's a whole other thing we'll get into later because I have thoughts on that. Anyhow, Noah Beck, like him acting, like it is giving, like I feel like this is his like people love the movie. He's getting a second one. That's better than Addison Rae can say. And I feel like Loki, because he's a man. Like I feel like that's a he's all that. She's all that. Addison, she's all that is what Noah Beck's movie that I still cannot recall the name of is. Like those movies and their careers. Y'all get what I'm trying to say? Are like the same. However, I feel like Noah isn't getting hated on as bad for it. And I do feel like it is because he is a man. And y'all can hate me for that, but that is my genuine opinion. Okay. Because, like, if you watch the cringe compilation from both of those movies, Noah's movie by far kills me the most. Like the cheerleader moment, and then she calls him quarterback. First of all, like, I don't feel like anybody would actually say that. And if they do, they have no game. And that's just because I hate rom coms. Okay. I love a rom com, but I hate a bad rom com. And I'm going to be so honest, I have only seen one of these movies. I haven't even seen this movie. Okay. I need to go see this movie before I talk about it too much. I know you guys are probably like, so this bitch has just been talking about this for 5 minutes and has not seen the movie. Yes. Yes. You know what? When I was talking about Coachella, I should have brought up Jessie Murph. Jessie Murph, if you guys don't know, I believe she came up on TikTok. Basically she's this girl, I believe she's my age. I believe she's like 19 to 21. Anyway, I've kind of always disliked her just cuz her songs sound the same. It just didn't give me the vibe that I wanted. However, I've been watching her at Coachella and I think like I like her. One of my friends was trying to get me to go to her concert, and the thing about a concert is a time for you to make someone who is not a fan when you're in this stage of your career, because she's not going on like stadiums, you know what I mean? She's going on like theaters. Because like Ari Abdul, I liked Ari Abdul before I went and saw her in like live in person when she opened for Nessa. But after seeing her open, I listen to her every day. I've listened to her more in the past 2 weeks than I've listened to Nessa. And that says a lot. I listen to Nessa a lot. However, I've been listening to Nessa too much probably. So that's probably why I'm taking a little break. But I think I've listened to her like twice yesterday. So anyway, Jessie Murph. I'm redeveloping an opinion about that girl. I don't know, something about her. It was like a cancellation, maybe, or something a while back. Remind me in the comments because there was something a while back that just absolutely irritated me. And it like changed her whole vibe for me personally. What was it? I can't remember. Maybe it was like some kind of cancellation. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna be real with y'all. I am here to promote the Nero Memory and Focus gum. However, I believe this is only available on TikTok Shop. Don't quote me on that. If y'all click the link down here below, y'all can go and shop this gum. However, this gum is supposed to, if you chew it, it's supposed to refresh your mind and body. It has zero sugar, it's caffeine free, it has no aspartame, and it's gluten free. You can even look at the ingredients on the back, and there's nothing crazy in it. They are clinically shown to improve your memory, sharpen focus, balance mood, and support your energy. I am one who suffers from all of that. I have no focus. I have ADHD. I'm a college student. And on top of that, I have no energy. I have been chewing these, you guys, for like the last 2 weeks. And genuinely, I have been passing tests, memorizing stuff, being sharper at work. Okay. So go down below to my TikTok and buy you some. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Oh, you know what? While we're still on the topic of Coachella, because by the time this episode releases, it's probably going to be weekend 3. But was watching some stuff from weekend 1 and 2, you know what I mean? Because I love Coachella. I want to go to Coachella so bad. I photoshopped myself in some pictures and posted it, okay? I would love to go to Coachella as an influencer, not like as a regular person. Or maybe somebody with money. You know what I mean? If I had some money like that, I would probably go and see what's up. Um, but so while I was reviewing it, I saw that Travis Scott played Coachella. And I was like, you know what? I was like, a festival, people forgot about Astroworld too fast. Like, I feel like if it was anybody else other than the Travis Scott, and you know what? His album kind of saved him after that fiasco. I think he like low key put out that album because he knew his career was in trouble. And I feel like as soon as the album became as big as it was, Utopia, people forgot about it. People immediately forgot about it. And now I see people at Coachella and I'm nervous. I'm nervous, girl. You know what I mean? Like, go back and look at what he did. Like, physically, what he did. It's scary. He caused all those people to get hurt. Like, when you go and actually look at the videos of the people that were there, and you go on Twitter and you see like the uncut, uncensored, like real stuff that happened, you would see that it was intentional. Those people were hurt intentionally, which might be a hot topic. Okay, I could be wrong. Y'all could be like, well, maybe not. Maybe it wasn't giving that. Sure. But that's my take. Like, I feel like it was very intentional. I feel like everyone there really demonized him and he owed billions of dollars. So I guess, you know what? He's got to work it off. I guess I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Um, and you know what? When I was watching the Travis Scott Coachella situation, Zara Larson popped up on my feed, and everyone is saying that Zara Larson is gearing up to be a mainstream pop girly again. And dare I say, the retail environment is shaking. Okay, the retail environment is shaking at its core. I wanna love you like a symphony plays at my job relentlessly to this day. When I worked at the tanning salon, you guys, I physically had to take it off of the radio and put it onto YouTube because her music would play so much. And it's no hate, but it just gives kind of like basic pop. Like, go on YouTube and just look up basic pop music and scroll down to something you haven't listened to before and just listen to it, or like generic pop music, much less. Google generic pop music and you'll see what I mean. And it gives that. And I don't like that. Some people do. I don't. No hate to her. I have no problem with Zara personally. However, her new single released, and people are like saying that she's about to be a main pop girly and this, that, and the other. Song's great. I will say that. The song genuinely was pretty amazing. However, when a song is genuinely amazing like that, and it's from an artist like that, it either has the potential to become song of the year or flop of the year. And I'm very interested to see that because honestly, I've only seen like two people talking about it, but maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll see more. One of the people that did talk about it though was Adam McIntyre. I think you know what? I like Adam McIntyre for exposing Colleen and all of the stuff that he did during the Colleen era. But I feel like after Colleen, he got very, very opinionated. He got me saying that while I'm like sitting here spitting all of my opinions and like saying this and saying that is just hilarious to me. Anyway, I just don't like his opinions and his hot takes. Like, I just feel like he's kind of nasty about it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't explain it. Like, some of his takes just kind of don't make sense to me. And then whenever they do, I just feel like they're digs. And then, and a lot of times when you're talking about pop culture, you're just clout chasing. You're just clout chasing. You're trying to get a view. And I get that. But there becomes a point where he's like hanging out with people, and then it's like drama, and then like, you know what I mean? Like, you can just tell he's a very like drama infused person. And I don't like that. Like, the thing about me is like whenever someone posts online and I have a bad feeling about them, usually they're later on to be exposed as bad people. And that's the tea, sis. Oh my gosh, you guys. I think I've been filming this episode for at least like 30 to 40 minutes. I honestly have no idea. I'm going to start setting a timer because I have no idea how long I'm going for. Um, oh my gosh, we have to talk about the Katy Perry Lifetimes tour. So let me catch y'all up on everything Katy Perry. So I was looking back at videos of me in 2023 and I was very optimistic for a Katy comeback, okay? Like I used to love Katy Perry and I wanted her to come back so bad, okay? I hyped it up on TikTok. I was really hoping for it. And she fell flat on her face because everybody was gearing up. Like people were genuinely going to give her album of the year if she came out with what we wanted. However, the album drops. People are like, notice that Dr. Luke is on it. Dr. Luke was on everything. She took his name off, I think, or maybe his name's still on like Woman's World. Um, but she didn't put his name on the rest of the album, I don't think. And people completely hated it after that. It was literally just like wrong choice after wrong choice after wrong choice. And even like going to space, wrong choice again, boo boo. Wrong choice again. Like she just makes all the wrong choices. It's like the Kardashians. They just make all the wrong choices. And you know what? I bet you in time it doesn't feel that simple. And when you're going through it, it doesn't feel that simple. That's like someone talking about my problems and being like, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this? It's probably not that simple. But like that's the reason her era flopped. If she would like take a few years, maybe like 2 years, 3 years, maybe get off the internet, and get in the studio, not with Dr. Luke, and come out with some great music, something like Teenage Dream, Prism, like something in that vibe, I promise you she will have a number one album. People will love her again. She won't be flop era Katy anymore. Um, that being said, I feel like this album is detrimental. Like it kind of has hurt you regardless. But, the Lifetime store, she just went on her first stop of the Lifetime tour and people are hating on it. I was honestly thinking the Lifetime tour was going to be like her redemption era. Like typically when she performs, people absolutely love it. However, a video of the heat of her fighting a heater duct has gone viral and people are like being so mean to her. They're clowning her. Um, they've been clowning her really, really hard, you guys. Let me tell you what, everybody has said that every part of that performance did not make sense to them. Like, it's supposed to be her going through a video game, and like, there's supposed to be some kind of like deep meaning to it, whatever. However, people are not, people are complaining about it. However, I will say people complained about the Eras tour at first, saying that Taylor did this weird, Taylor did that weird. I remember at the beginning of the Eras tour, they critiqued everything that she did. So maybe it's the same situation here. I honestly don't know. I don't know. I wanted to tell you guys. So honestly, this was on my list. I was coming up with things to talk about on this podcast episode, and this one just kind of like randomly came up in my mind. So basically, back in 2024, this man had hit me up. Okay. He had hit me up on the DL. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm never going to say this man's name. I'm never going to say his Snapchat. And I'm never going to tell the story outside of this. I am not going to tell someone's business. I think it's really disrespectful and weird. However, I just think this is a hilarious story. Anyway, well, he was cute or whatever. He lived like an hour from my house. I was like, this isn't bad, whatever. Anyway, this man continues to text me. He's like a year younger than me. I'm 19. He's 18. So it's like, cool. Well, like a day into talking, this man spit the N word at me. Okay. By the way, he was whiter than I am. And It rubbed me the wrong way. And I was like, why did you say the N word? I was like, you're white. Respectfully, what you might be, you might have a little something in your bloodline. But honey, like your documents say white, okay? If your documents say white, maybe you should not be saying the N word, okay? Anyway, well, he's like, nah, like my. First of all, let me literally talk how this man was talking. Nah, man. Okay, so my like trying to like talk like they're all hood and bad, and like I can't stand that. And this man's like, my sister's black, my brother's black, like they're all like I'm mixed, like my mom just got like with the like was just doing that, and I was like, sis, I was like, your mother is white. You've posted her. She is white. Okay. Anyway, I just kind of like left him on open because he just kind of kept arguing with me, and I was just like, whatever, whatever, whatever. Well, like literally the other day, this man, I posted a picture of me from like 2020 and me now because it is just a very vast difference. Okay. But yeah, so, and then he slid up, said, he said, pissed me off, and then blocked me. Blocked me. First of all, I'm not into you anyway. Second of all, you want to be something you're not. You're around spitting the N word, telling people that you're mixed when you're not. And then you want to say, I piss you off? You piss me off. You piss my friends off. You piss a lot of people off. You piss off a whole community of people. Like, get out of here with all this. Like, get out of here. Like, what can I even say to that? People are crazy, you guys. People are crazy. And then after, for some reason, when I was thinking about this, when I was looking up this, I started looking at Dramageddon clips. Did y'all know that we're about to be upon the Dramageddon 6-year anniversary? Y'all, or Dramageddon 2. It was Dramageddon 2. Dramageddon 1, I believe, was actually, let's see, 7 years ago. Dramageddon 2 was 6 years ago. It happened in 2019. As you guys remember, James Charles versus Tati, and then Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star got drug into it. Then 2020, part 2 of that went down. Wow, like what a time on the internet. I remember being on like a field trip and then seeing Tati's video, and then James's video came up right after it, and we literally talked about that the entire 3-hour drive home. Okay, we were going to like a water park 3 hours away. Tell me how. Tell me how. We were dying, we were laughing, we were goofing about this situation. And now when I look back, it's so unserious, yet we were so serious about it at the time. Like, this was like, I miss big internet dramas like this, like Dramageddon 1, Dramageddon 2, Mascara Gate. What was another one? Just big, just Colleen's apology. I miss big. I'm talking like where multiple things come out and it lasts for weeks, and you're scrolling and you're like, oh, this is never gonna happen again. Like, we're getting that with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. However, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni are, they're basically mainstream actors. Okay, it ends with this, was a mainstream movie. So they're not giving us the quality content that these influencers give us. I miss like the influencer drama. I don't care about the mainstreamers and their little beef because it's all through lawsuits and this and that. And I'm just not about that. I want like TikTok beef. That's what I want. Okay. And we're not getting that. We're not getting fed that anymore. People aren't seeking a cancellation anymore. And I miss like whenever these cancellations were so huge that people were losing like millions of followers. That doesn't happen anymore. James Charles is literally apologizing a DV abuser as we speak. And yet he is still going to go on selling makeup and doing whatever. And that's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. Um And you know what? And that's why I love Ember Chamberlain so much, because she said, bye, James, went on, got her a little TV show or movie or whatever she's working on right now. And she's about to be a correspondent for the Met Gala again. So, how about them apples? Okay. How about them apples? Y'all, what we really need to talk about is the new Hunger Games cast. The new Hunger Games cast is genuinely, I am obsessed. I am obsessed, and I'm really ready to see the vision, because whenever a movie cast gets announced these days, people are so quick to judge. It's true. People are so quick to judge. Like, whenever the first new Hunger Games came out, people were hating on it. People were like, Rachel Zegler, this, that, and the other. Baller movie. Everyone loves it. Okay. I'm very excited to see what this new one is going to bring us. It's going to be about a Hamish. So we're seeing young Hamish. We're seeing his love that we never got to see, the person that has his heart for eternity. Um, I'm very excited to see, because they're casting a lot of unknown names, and that's what I love. I love when like movies cast an unknown that just completely shatters it. Um I'm very excited to see this movie. I'm very excited that Suzanne Collins has decided to keep the books going. I think she said she started on another one. I cannot wait to see everybody's side of the story. And Hamish's one is known to be one of like the craziest Hunger Games, I believe, like one of like the like just out of pocket. So I'm very interested to see what happens. And I kind of hope like the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was very early on, so it was a very quick movie because they hadn't like got into the whole process. However, I believe this is the 50th Hunger Games. We're 40 years later. I'm hoping that they're giving us more of the Hunger Games that we see in the current Panem and like the first movie. Like, I'm hoping it's giving more of that. I know that they have the arenas and all that other good stuff, so I'm just kind of hoping it's giving the same vibe. I think Kieran Culkin is going to be Caesar Flickerman. I low key got into some drama over the last little period, because I did not realize that in the Songbirds and Snakes that it was Lucky Flickerman. I never caught that, you guys. I thought that that was Caesar Flickerman and that it was just a running joke that he like never aged. I never realized his father was also like the same thing he was. So my dumbass posted like, "Oh, the dude who played on the Songbirds and Snakes should play him and Caesar. You know, they should play Caesar." I got ate up on the internet, you guys. I had to delete it so bad, because they're like, that's Lucky, that's his father, Lucky. Like, don't talk about something you don't know. I learned. I learned then and there. Okay? I learned then and there um, of what to do and what not to do. Okay? For shizzle. For shizzle. Okay? Because they ate me up. They ate me up, and I learned a lot. I did. I learned more than you will ever know from that situation. Well, anyway, you guys, that's my thoughts on everything pop culture right now. I'm coming in on 1 hour. Um, so thank you guys so much if you've made it all the way through my podcast. I really don't want every single week to be just me jabbering to y'all about pop culture and different stuff like that. I just felt like that this was a fun way. And that there's a lot of things that I wanted to talk about pop culture wise, and it was a fun way to introduce my podcast to you. I'm gonna have episodes like talking about ex-boyfriends and like crazy traumatic stories of things that they did to me. I want to talk about things that friends have done for me, that have done to me and have done for me, and you know what I mean? And I want to talk about like just crazy life experiences and crazy things that I haven't ever told anyone or told, you know, you all about, because the chances are the people who watch my YouTube are probably going to be watching this. But yeah, you guys, that's really all for me. Make sure to go to my TikTok in the description down below. If you don't know, my TikTok is ITZ Rylann with 4 N's. Okay, and look at my marketplace. I have a lot of stuff. I have the peach slices. I have the bloom, the Nero gum, and a bunch of other fun stuff, you guys. So make sure to go check it out. I love you all. Thank you guys so much for watching. And this was Unhinged with Rylann. Bye. Okay.